Mike here from the Elevator Consultants. On site of the first property. I'm told we're looking at 5 elevators here. I'm just walking into the first machine room. Not seen the Hoistways yet. I thought we had Dover equipment here, but we've actually got Schumacher. Our controller system looks like all relay logic. Here's our starter down here. They call that a Siemens soft starter. Some big boy fuses down here. Looks like we might have some fire service keys sitting here. And the service tool. Not exactly what that is, not exactly sure. But programmed into a PLC board or programmable logic controller board. We got a fan in here, a couple space heaters, which those, I guess they are plugged in. Maybe, maybe not. Ventilation. Obviously the machine room light here isn't working. Oil buckets back here. We've got an awful lot of room in this machine room. That is a really unique oil tank. I've never seen one with the top cut off. Our tags back here, that'll tell us what our horsepower is, voltage, amperage draw on it. Looks like all Schumacher equipment. How do we open this thing? Yep, here we go. That's kind of a cool design. That is also extremely unique. So that's our valve that'll control our up and down direction of the elevator. Down below that, you can see that clamp. That's one of our fittings, and it goes right into our silencer. Gotta say that's unique. I've never seen it mounted vertically like that, the silencer. That does not look like it's from the factory. This part is worrisome. The whole idea of having the lid completely covering the tank is to keep any kind of contaminants from entering the system, getting sucked up by the pump unit, and getting into the system. So we don't have a way to seal that off with that lid cut off. Fortunately, everything is drywalled inside here, but you can imagine if we had a water leak from upstairs, obviously multi-story property, that could be really bad news for this pump unit. Tons of empty oil buckets here in the machine room. Got 2 of them there. Got another 3 here. We got 5 total. So we know we're adding oil to the system. We'll see if we have an oil log that tells us why. Let's see what's on car number 3. Here's our dipstick, just like you have in your car. So tell you what the oil level is at. Let's open this up, see what we got. We got a smaller Maxton valve on this one. They even have a drip tray for the valve. That's also unique too. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Alright. Our Victolic oil piping here. It's awful lot of 90s, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 before we go inside the hoistway, which should be right behind this wall. Typically what we want is the minimum amount of bends in the Victolic line. When I say bends, the minimum amount of turns, whether it's 45 or 90 degree fittings. That typically helps with temperature because you're not trying to force the oil around any of these bends. These are working together as a duplex. I'm guessing, well, obviously this one is in service. I'm guessing this one is out of service. Our disconnects are still on. I guess we'll do a little deeper dive in here and kind of figure out what's going on, why this one's out. But anyhow, that's what we have for the machine room. These are pretty unique for where I'm located at right now. We'll go from there. We'll see if I can get you guys updates for the Hoistway, car tops, and pits, show you what's going on inside there. Alright, so here's the car top first elevator. We got it stop between floors, stop switches on. Side guide assemblies here. That's how the elevator stays plumb and centered in the Hoistway. Typically there's grease or oil or some kind of lubrication to make it slide across the rails. You can see it built up a little bit, which is normal. Back here is your selector system. Tells the elevator where it's at in the Hoistway. A little bit of Christmas time knowledge for any diehard fans out there. When Bruce Willis gets on top of the car, typically you cannot get through the escape hatches here unless it's open from the top. You can see the wing nuts on the side here and here. At least the bolt is in, the wing nut is off of it. But sorry to burst anybody's bubble on that little fact-finding knowledge. Door equipment. So they call these non-integral doors. So the door panel itself here is separate from the hanger, which is up here. You can see the bolt system. Spirator, that's our closer. I'm told that the door operation system was installed in the last 3 years. They call this GAL MLVFR 2. MLVFR 1 version is now considered obsolete. So most of the stickers on here don't say 2 on it. You have to look underneath inside the controller box here. And you have to look at the board color and basically the drive system for it. But they did new door operator. Let's see what else we did here. We kept the old torch for X and hangers. Those are the old style. I think the ones in the very front, those ones are going to be different. So if we get down here, if you can see that black bar, I try to open the door, see if I can do this one-handed. You can see that black bar is going to catch those angles, and that's going to keep the car door from opening. So if I'm stuck inside the car, that's as far as the doors will open. Whole idea of that, if you're stuck between floors, you can't try to climb out, and then the elevator moves and something catastrophic happens to you when the elevator moves, or you fall back inside, and people will fall back down inside the hoistway. Very dangerous. So if you're stuck inside an elevator, don't try to get out. Put this back on normal. We'll put the car on run. See if this spins back. We'll give it a little help. Okay, and we're back. Let's turn our pit light on here. In-ground jack unit assembly. Likely made by Schumacher. See our slide guides here in the bottom. Slide guide here in the bottom. Sometimes hydraulic elevators will have what they call rupture valves here in the pit. And it basically looks like a big square box that's run in line with that Victolic oil pipe. That does require its own individual test. Our overflow bucket, it's normal for these things to leak a little bit, and typically that oil will come down that plastic line and fill up that oil bucket. So it looks like it's, I don't know how full that is. Actually, it looks pretty empty. This big cable here, you can see where it comes into the car bottom. That mesh that's over it, that they call that the Kellum grip. Traveling cable basically loops down here, and it's really what connects the control system to the elevator, so the elevator knows what to do. It looks okay. Looks like they did new Hoistway pickup assemblies. And that door restrictor, you can see how shiny those angles are. That's part of the door restriction system. Those are brand new. Okay, that's basically it down here. Really not much to write home about. They put on some new equipment here. Not sure why they did it. Typically when we do this stuff outside of a modernization, it's more expensive. The margins are much higher. But we're gonna call this one back down. We'll ride them, test the phones and the alarms. We'll take a look and we'll do the same thing for the other 4 cars. See if we have any anomalies, and that's it for here.